haven't launched per se, but I have a feeling that, the side of Eanix may just pull out that of, say, the Black Feather just to go up against this Baron, the Crystal Black Feather. And they might run the double crystal for all we know, but Scarf is still a really big emphasis coming into this game. If not, then we might see a Castrol as well. Trophies has played on that Castrol. Not a bad pick. Going into a Baron, at least you have got the earlier burst going up against that Baron. And honestly, going into this game, the draft is slightly different. Baron, we've known and we've seen played as well. Oh, one more thing as well, not forgetting, I think Angry Die played on that Ozo as well. So we might see an Ozo come out just to counter that Baron. So that's a possibility as well. I mean, for Baron being in the meta for so long, there has been so much counters that has been built up against him. So it is just down to how the side of Eanix would draft going into the Baron. And of course, Catherine pickup coming up from the side of Brenchong.
Yeah, I think everyone would like to see an Ozo. He's one of those heroes where it doesn't get played a lot, but when he does get played, he can really snowball in the early game and destroy quite a lot of people. I would be surprised if Eanix go for anything except for Scarf in one of these two picks. It's not been banned away from them. They're so comfortable on it. They're so good at playing it. And obviously the Glaive was banned, so they can't do the same composite in the last game. But they've got lots of weapon power junglers that Iron Gudai can play. Obviously, I talked about the weapon lance, you talked about the Black Feather, who could still be played weapon, is quite good against Baron. And I don't think they're going to go for double crystal power because Baron really excels again if he can only build one form of defense. And so he really wants to build one defense and then 4 damage items. So you want to make sure that's not easy for Baron. And they're going to go for the Taka. We have not seen weapon Taka in about 5 years. Do you think they're going to go for double crystal or maybe an on-hit Taka?
It's highly probable that the Taka may go on hit with that tension bow aftershock, but then again, that Taka hasn't been seen played at all in the current meta. A lot of times the Taka will go for that Storm Crown, for that aftershock, and then just go in for burst. So it's not exactly really crystal based damage coming up from the Taka in the early game, but once Taka goes for that Broken Myth, then he will become that crystal assassin that he is known for. However, we have a threat of that Catherine still sitting, for the side of Brenchong, and he could go in for that Scarf if, stunning Scarf out of Dragon's Breath. But honestly, that is really not Trophy's main form of damage at the end of the day. In response, the side of Brenchong has got a lot of options open up as well. Like I said, they have a lot of options, and they are just going to prime and go for that Castrol, Crystal Castrol. Crystal Castrol, I guess, does well against Taka if you can just be wary of his positioning. So probably defense will be, or rather not defense, but vision will be, a priority in this game. And whether or not the side of Eanix can snowball their earlier advantage going up against Brenchong, so that they know they can end the game early before Brenchong, before Baron or even Castrol build up enough damage, is really important, and it kind of hinges on that as to whether Eanix will win and take the second round.
Yeah, I do agree. I think Brenchong have gone for the decision that, okay, you like to play Scarf, which means you like late game heroes, so we're going to pick Baron and Crystal Power Kestrel, so if it gets to late game, we're going to win. And I think it's going to be very hard for Eanix, despite how good they are on that Scarf, to beat a late game Baron and Crystal Kestrel, because they're such item dependent heroes, expensive item dependent heroes. That I do trust Brenchong to be able to pull it off if it does get 25 minutes in or maybe even later. But I don't think Crystal Kestrel was the best decision. I think they're much more comfortable on Samuel. Was available. It's quite good against Taka. It will be able to bully Taka in the early game. And it's reasonably good against Scarf. Obviously, it didn't work in the last game against Scarf, but we saw in almost all the team fights, Samuel will be left alive, and Kestrel was the one who died. So Samuel can trade with Scarf and stay alive at the end of it, whereas Kestrel, it's all about if Kestrel gets the kill, she wins. If not, she's dead. She's not going to be able to run away because she'll get bursted down as soon as they get vision on her. So I think Taka's actually really good against Crystal Kestrel, because you can, if you get 1x Retsu in, you can chitin over any traps that she might have set for you. It's pretty obvious when Kestrel's going to try and use them, especially against attacker. So you can dodge that, and then you can constantly basic attack Kestrel to keep her not being able to go invisible. So I do like what Eanix have got. I think it's going to be about how they play it. They need to win before Baron and Kestrel really start ramping up, whereas when Scarf is in a good position. So maybe 3 damage items on Scarf, that's when they need to really push their advantage.
Yep, and there is one more thing as well. As I said before, Brenchong has got a lot of options open for them, and I'm actually quite surprised they did go for that Kestrel going up against Taka. They would have a better option or a little glimmer of hope going for that Baptiste so as to, stop any advancement coming up from the side of Eanix. And on top of that as well, Baptiste just synergizes so well with that of Catherine. Anyways, as we are jumping into this fall casting and talking about this game, of course, alongside Minimizer, we have Arsarai. Take it away.
Hello. So, hey guys, I'm gonna be casting with Minimizer, and well, you were talking a lot about how, come late game, it's just gonna be Brenchong all throughout, but we've seen Eanix on that first game just be as aggressive with this Scarf and Lyra, even without any, I guess, helping hand from their junglers. So maybe we're going to see something of that same sort. I mean, it's still going to be a Baron, even though I guess he has the jump jets. Maybe it's something that Eanix can still bypass and get the kills, but we'll just have to see.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're going to see a lot of aggression from Eanix early game, as we saw in the last game against the Kestrel. Against the Baron as well, you really want to pressure him, try and take that first tower as quickly as possible. Trophies is pushing the wave, so he's definitely going to be trying to push this Baron away. But then again, you're up against Crystal Kestrel in the jungle. Crystal Kestrel is fantastic at lane ganks, and Brenchong are going to be able to secure that mid-treant, but Taka wants to get a kill.
And they're chasing him down, but Majin will be able to survive, although this could be a 3-man rotation in the lane. Brenchong will not capitalize. They just want Mr. Jim to go defensive. He does have a Baron who has a pretty good range in terms of last hitting, and maybe even, again, that safety with the jump jets. And Majin will be holding his hand now more than ever compared to that previous game wherein he's been rotating more so in the jungle. So maybe this is going to give the Taka some free opening to harass Sync 1 up.
Yeah, as you said, speaking of the jungle, Taka is trying to invade Sync 1, but Yudai is going to get a nice sigil from Lyra to keep him from being caught up on Kestrel. Keep on steal the treant. Actually, he's going to go straight in to try and get down on Kestrel instead. The problem with Yudai trying to invade against this Kestrel is Kestrel's fantastic farm secure, good rotation from the
Oh my goodness, they were able to take down Yudai quickly, but they immediately get the revenge. Rubber Monkey is being chased down here, but Imperial Sigil will keep him safe for a little bit. Sync 1 puts a really good amount of damage, plus that Glimmer Shot, and that's going to be the 1-for-1.
Yeah, Kestrel managing to secure all of her jungle, but Taka wasn't able to steal any away. Yeah, that is the problem with evading against the Crystal Kestrel. You can't steal farm from Crystal Kestrel unless you have a Stormguard banner, which Taka doesn't have yet. So Kestrel has so much farm secure that you can start it up, you can do a lot of damage, but if Kestrel's anywhere near, she's going to get that last hit on the farm. And Majin, as you said, going to stay in lane and really try and help Baron with that Protector contract just to try and stop, because Spitfire is pretty easy to know if Baron's going to get hit by it. So you can pop that Protector contract and Baron should be okay. Baron and Kestrel taking the backs together, but the mid was taken away by Taka. That's a good rotation from Brenchong, and now they're 3 in lane. They want to fight against Scarf. Too big of a minion wave for them really to do anything.
And Yudai will be spotting out Majin. Majin just saying a hello stun in the jungle. And a little bit of a tussle in the lane. Rubber Monkey will take a significant amount of damage. But Brenchong, again with the 3-man rotation, Rubber Monkey should get caught out here, but their target is Trophies. They blow him up, and that's gonna be another hero kill here for Brenchong.
Yeah, they are going to rotate as 3 up the lane, and a good gank on Scarf. That's really, Trophies can't be that far ahead when they don't know where Kestrel is, because they have such a good gank with the stun from Catherine. You're going to get 3 Glimmer Shots from Kestrel. Baron's going to basic attack you, and you're going to die really quickly. It looks like Iron Yudai is actually going to go for a weapon power attacker. Maybe with that help, you might be able to into a Storm Crown, so we might see Tension Bow Aftershock Storm Crown. But 3 Weapon Blades does indicate he wants to go more than just a Tension Bow. So that's going to be interesting to see how this weapon attacker works. It should work very similar to Crystal against no defense heroes like Crystal, Kestrel and Baron, because once you expect to win, you get a couple of basics and they're almost dead anyway. But that's definitely something off meta we're seeing from Iron Yudai.
Well, he uses the stealth, spots out Mr. Jim. Mr. Jim has to back off, but there's the Porcupine Artillery. Will chip down Iron Yudai slowly but surely, and Iron Yudai will be dipping back into the fight. Gets the heal from the Imperial Sigil, but he will get punished. Mr. Jim survives with a sliver of HP, doesn't get caught inside the bulwark, and Rubber Monkey is in a bad spot. He spots his team actually dying, and looky here, Truppies, the dodges left and right, man. This Scarf is flapping its wings really fast in that one.
Yeah, using boots and dodging every single glimmer shot the Kestrel tried to do in that barrage of 4. It was more well played by Truppies than 4 by Single One, because it's really hard when someone's using boots to land your skill shots on. They can just run in directions you're not expecting, get the kill. Margin's doing extremely well on getting those Captain of the Guard stacks, already at 12 stacks, 5.5 minutes in. Generally, we saw in the last game that Catherine wasn't getting that many stats. So I think it's good to see. It's good to see Margin really. Sorry, in the game before last, it's really good to see Catherine getting loads of stacks. Taka has got the Tension Bow, so that's a good power spike for him. And I'm really interested to see what he goes next. I'd love to see Sora Blade and that Oak Heart turn into a reflex block. I'd rather see that than an on-hit Tension Bow, Storm Crown, Aftershock Taka. Because this game, it does lend itself so hard towards the late game that it doesn't seem like on-hit Taka is going to be any use in the late game. So I don't think that'd be a very smart build for Iron Yudai.
Maybe the reason here is not, or either here we're going to be seeing Iron Yudai goes aggressive and damage onto Mr. Jim. Well, maybe the reason here is they're making him into the Glass Cannon Assassin, or just going for early game. Or maybe they're just really investing in the early game to mid game, not really looking forward to that late game. Just because, again, you said in the drafting that, well, it's a Baron, it's a Kestrel, and Iron Yudai is gonna be right here. Will he get that last shot from the turret to actually die? Yes, he will. My goodness, Eanix are overcommitting into this one. The Merciless Pursuit, there's the chase. Nice goop coming in from Truppies. And he'll be able to slow down Majin for the meantime. But Majin, oh, man, it's like the scene in Jaws. You're just waiting for the shark to go up in the water. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he dived under the turret to maybe see if Scarf was late before home. And Liva with one basic attack, just in the turret away from Mr. Jim. That's actually really important. Mr. Jim now has little energy after that jump jets. Sinquan's going to be there to make sure Taka doesn't go in too deep. And Iron Yudai agrees with me. He's gone for the Tension Bow reflex block and looking like he might move into a Soul Blade next item. It's a really good build on Taka because there's not going to be defense on you. Just go for Soul Blade for pure damage. Truffy's so low, they forced a bounce in. Brenchong really going to pressure this turret now.
And this turret is still on full HP. Well, they have to be very careful. Mr. Jim is on that Baron. The Kestrel also will be able to put out some glimmer shots, but Angry Yudai will be starting off the fight. He's actually going to break through. Rubber Monkey uses the bulwark just to be able to zone out for the meantime, but Brenchong is starting to ramp up. Look at the damage onto Trophies. He just dipped into the fight for a second, and 3/4 of his HP got sliced away from his bar. Brenchong, imagine, will he go? Gets the connection on the Merciless Pursuit. Iron Yudai will be able to get out from the damage of the Porcupine Artillery. Trophies, no ultimate just yet. He's level 7, but he is maximizing that Goop and Spitfire combo. And a little bit of delay. There you go, hero kill onto the Baron. Perfect. The shutdown is real. The passageway used. Iron Yudai is chipping him in. Can he do it? One more shot. There it is. And he gets it. He does actually sacrifice his life, but still, that's going to be Eanix to find the formula to the madness. And they get themselves back into the fight.
Well played by Eanix. That was spectacular target focus. And Iron Yudai with the selfless play. To dive under between two turrets to make sure they got the ace, because that secured one turret, and will be a gold mine. Yes, it will. Baron not quite there in time. One thing I want to point out is Iron Guy on this Taka, he dodged the Catherine's silence with his chitin. So he wasn't silenced by the blast coming from Catherine because he used his chitin at the right time. Whereas the boost, I don't think, was finished by Rubber Monkey before that fight. So Taka just went, yeah, that's okay. I still won't get silenced. I don't even need to use my block for it. And he now can pick up a Soul Blade. So Duffy's could be out of position. He will be going almost down.
Oh my goodness, he has Rubber Monkey to hold his hand. Here comes I Angry You Die. Goes in from the side. Let's go to aggressive onto Mr. Jim. Chasing him down. Majin is still here. One more second. Blast Tremor is up and running. He will use it primed and ready. Will he go? Look at Rubber Monkey. Brought so low. Blast Tremor to connect as well. My goodness, the damage from the one shot, one kill. They really have to be respectful on this Kestrel. Module will get caught out. The turret has been destroyed and the chase is on. Trophies will be looking to actually just go in and out. Put out the goop as well as the Spitfire, but it's not going to help them out. For now, no kills, but the turret was hard fought and Brenchong wins.
Brenchong managing to take down their first turret. With a comp like Baron and Kestrel, you do expect turrets to fall. This Kestrel just unloading those glimmer shots onto the turret is going to take it down really quickly. And especially with Baron's Iron Cannon to push Scarf back, Scarf got so low from Kestrel that he's forced to be pretty much unable to defend the turret with Baron's Iron Cannon. So it's a good play from the side of Brenchong. I think they have the chance to win this, as I said, if it gets to late game. One thing I want to point out is Mr. Jim actually went Serpent's Mask as first item, and then Tension Bow and Child's Monaco as you expect a Baron to go. I think it could work against this attacker. I prefer to see just pure damage. I think that makes more sense. Going up against attacker, you just need to burst him down as quickly as possible. But Mr. Jim, he's gone for that sustain. I think it can work. But I think it would be made more sense to go pure.
Maybe he's just going for the safety, but look at here. Think one setting it up. My goodness, this guy is on rampage, and Eanix have to back away. I Angry Die in the worst of situations there. Gets spotted out by the scout trap. But here comes Trophies. He's gonna be trying to go for the flank, but he only chips down Mr. Jim. I Angry Die will get shut down as he gets pierced in the back with that glimmer shot. And Majin spots out Trophies, and this dragon will get shut down. No Khaleesi for you, and Brenchong actually get 2 kills for the price of none.
Yeah, that was well played by Sing1, setting up the kill on his side of the jungle, chasing Taka all the way to his crystal sentry, using that arcane passage from Lyra to move across the map. It was a good secure by Sing1, managing to land those glimmer shots with the Frostburn. Means you're more likely to land more than one glimmer shot in a row. Trophies did go for Shatterglass as a first item, which you don't generally see on Scarf. You see Frostburn, Broken Myth, Eve, and Clockwork as the 4 items Scarf generally goes for. But this time Trophies wants pure damage against this squishy double hard carry of Brenchong. And I think I said Mr. Jim's Serpent's Mask build isn't great, and it's not if you're fighting when you only have a Serpent's Mask and Tension Bow. However, he's been fighting when he has Serpent's Mask, Tension Bow, and one Tyrant, one towards the second. So he's doing 500 crits onto Scarf anyway. Turning that crit up to 600 with a Soul Blade instead of a Serpent's Mask isn't that important. It's more important that he gets the heal from Serpent's Mask, because now he doesn't need to damage the Soul Blade. He's got the crit of Tyrant's Monocle. So it's a smart build from Mr. Jim. Maybe I would have built it in a different order, but he's decided that because Kestrel does the pure damage, he can just be the hero to try and sustain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're just trying to be as careful as possible against Taka, because you saw Eanix had one good fight right there, and Taka, or rather I Angry Die, was the one to finish it all off. Maybe if he has the sustain, he'll be able to, I guess, offset that a little bit. Maybe that was just his mindset through that. So, yeah. Right now, Gold Mine could be the next objective for both of these teams. Still a minute and 30 before the Kraken spawns, and Majin will not face Check a Brush, but almost gets engaged upon by Eanix. Pops the Storm Guard, and she'll be alright.
Yeah, Majin able to get away using that Merciful Suit as a disengaged tool. Obviously, you want the opposite of pursuit, and runaway is probably the best term, but yeah, Merciless Disengage. And Baron now's got his 4 completed damage items. That's extremely good. He's got a little bit of shield against Scarf. Makes sense because Scarf hasn't built Broken Myth, gone for the Shatterglass and Frostburn and Eve, as I said earlier. So that means that the shield pierce is delayed on Scarf. So Baron picking up a little bit of that. And I expect to see Aegis over a Slumbering Husk. We still could see a Husk, and Brenchong want to push this turret.
They're pushing it. Look at the damage from the Kestrel. Offensive Bulwark as well. And they are really forcing it to... will not get the target that he wants to. Already using the Xretsu, but it is on a very low cooldown, so maybe they will re-engage again in a second, and it's up. Oh my goodness, the connection from that rocket though. They gotta back away. Brenchong has still full HP, and Sync 1 is in the front line. He's going in aggressive. The Glimmer Shot to connect onto Truppies, and he's also very low. Iangry died to reset once more. He's providing good amounts of distraction here, but is it gonna be enough? As Iangry Die is going a little bit of footsie work against Sync 1. Can he get it? Goes Envy, goes back in. Perfect! But Mr. Jim is right here, and he gets a double kill connection with those rockets. That was huge from Brenchong, and they even get themselves the turret. So all of that commitment to the Kestrel, and still Brenchong wins that fight.
They do. They look like they want to get another turret as well. Taka did port back to base.
Oh no! Iangry Die, and it will be enough. That's gonna be an ace, and they're gonna get the choke turret as well. This is not looking good for Eanix at all.
It's not. We said that if it gets to late game, Brenchong have the advantage, but we're not even in late game. We're in the mid game at the moment, and Brenchong are still winning these fights, taking the turrets, taking the objectives. Mr. Jim has just got so much damage that it's pretty much uncounted. He can go full build now with that 3,000 gold, and he will pick up the Aegis and wants to get War Tread, so can't quite afford those tier 3 boots just yet. And I think this is extremely good for Brenchong. Obviously, Sync 1 has a little bit of Taka defense. As you said, the whole emphasis of Eanix's comp is their dive Kestrel, kill her, and then we'll focus on Baron next. But that's just not working. Taka's dying to Kestrel. He may trade the kill, he may not, but while he's doing all of that, Truffies is just dying to this Baron. The double shots from the jump jets and splash damage means if anyone stands next to each other on Eanix, they're going to die so quickly to Baron and Kestrel. They both have loads of splash damage if you stand side by side. It's been another sentry taken out by Brenchong. I think there's 1 life left. So it looks like Eanix is going to have to get a pretty miraculous Kraken Steel and fight win to try and turn this game around.
The miraculous win they do need, but can they do so? Eanix, I mean, they've been approaching these fights only one opening at a time, which is the passage into the Taka going in. But now, as Brenchong forces the fight, they gotta reposition and try to understand how they're gonna be able to win this one, as that Kestrel and Baron are starting to be the ones to outdamage Truffies. Truffies cannot get an opening at all. Iangry Die will be starting off, but that's Majin. That's not someone that they want to go as the first target. They lose the Lyra, and Iangry Die is gonna go in. He might get chased down here. Here's the jump jets. Oh, he will not. The double rocket from the Baron, and only Truffies to remain. 30 seconds, 20 seconds left into the timers of Rubber Monkey and Iangry Die. And could this be the GG push for Brenchong? I don't think so. The Kraken is still alive, so maybe that's their next target.
Yeah, they're going to start up the Kraken. There is vision on the Kraken that Rubber Monkey to put down. So Scarf knows the Kraken can take. He can try and steal it. Obviously, Baron is just there, standing very aggressively to make sure that if Scarf does come to try and steal it, she will be just killed. Obviously, Truffies without any defense now has got the full Broken Myth. Well, when he shots. So that's the 4 damage items that Scarf had before. He's picked up a little bit later in this game. And it's already at the point where Baron's completely fully built, Kestrel's nearly fully built, and this Catherine with the Null Wave and Echo. In the last team fight, it didn't really do much. The Null Wave hit Lyra, it wasn't blocked, and then the Echo, the Silence hit Taka, but the Brenchong really couldn't follow up at the same time. But with this Kraken push, it'll be pretty simple for Majin to be able to secure that double silence, or at least if the item silence doesn't hit, it does hit and it's blocked, then you can double your blast jump. so Martha's going to go.
Alright, you guys gonna go in. This is the Hail Mary pass right now. Play right now as Brenchong are going for the GG. Margin is very low, but he has done his job. Mr. Jim and Sync 1 are dealing the backline damage, and they are in no threat of Rubber Monkey and especially Truffies. Truffies will get caught out. There's gonna be the defensive passageway from the Lyra, but it is over for game 2. GGWP. Brenchong have pulled it back once again. And we are going into game 3.
Yeah, we are. What a play from Brenchong. They exactly knew what Eanix were going to pick. They knew they liked Scarf and they liked an Assassin. They banned away the Glaive, who couldn't be played to dive in, so they were forced to go with an off-meta weapon power attacker. And I think the real problem there was Iron Gyudai had 2 items. He had Sword Blade and Tension Bow, and then worked into an Atlas to try and counter Baron, had a little bit of shielding against Kestrel, but not much. The weapon power attacker didn't really do anything after we got around 12 minutes in. It was all just Brenchong having all the damage. Truffies, obviously with 4 damage items, is going to do a lot, but it was just Margin blocking those Spitfires, making sure that Mr. Jim and Sync 1 didn't stand on top of the goops. So Truffies was basically useless and couldn't get the damage onto Baron. When he did try and stand at close quarters to get damage on Baron, the basic attacks would just destroy him, because obviously Truffies without any defense, whereas Mr. Jim did have a full Aegis. It was well played from Brenchong. They knew the comp they had to pull out to counter Eanix.